go to work. Some time has passed since that visit. Jim Flint has changed. So has his station. But let's see for ourselves what has happened.
Here we are. These fit over your other glasses and protect your eyes from the sun.
Are they the cheapest you have?
I'm sure they'll prove satisfactory, Mr. Pearson.
Of course they will. When I buy, I always get my money's worth. Hi, Dan.
Hello, Art. Gee, that was a swell dealer meeting last night. That stuff about racing was certainly interesting. Say, Art, believe it or not, I've got a couple of tickets for the Indianapolis race.
Well, did you tell your dad about it yet?
Nope, we've been pretty busy, and I'm scared Stiffy won't go.
Oh, don't worry about that. He'll go all right. Leave that to me.
Well, if he does, it'll be a miracle. But then it's a miracle the way he's changed since you took him over to Bob Masters' place. Just look, we've got everything here now.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Flint.
Hello, Art. Maybe that fellow Pearson isn't a close buyer. First time he's bought anything in 6 months. And he's in every week for free air. You know, someday I'm going to sell that fella a set of tires.
Well, if that's his car I saw on the outside when I came in, you can start right away. Oh, by the way, Mr. Flint, I brought over this window card. The Indianapolis race is only a week off. This will help tie in with the Firestone advertising program. Ought to open the way for a lot of new tire sales.
Just a minute, Art. Now you listen to me. I'll admit you've given me a lot of good ideas, but this is where I draw the line. All I hear from this son of mine is racing, racing, racing from morning till night. I even dream about it. And the rest of the time, I've got to listen to you talk about it.
But, Dad, all the best drivers use Firestone tires.
Yes, I know. I've heard all that 1,000 times. Well, I don't care if Ben-Hur used them. This racing business is all a lot of nonsense. Just a needless risk of life without benefit to anybody. Furthermore, I don't see any connection between racing and regular driving.
Well, I wish you could have been with us last night and heard Brownie Carslake talking to those fellows.
So, gentlemen, the racetrack has become the greatest proving ground of the automotive industry. The engineers and technicians know that equipment that will stand up under the terrific grind of 500 miles at better than 100 miles an hour will meet the hardest kind of driving the motorist can give it. When I think of the racetrack, my mind goes back to the first time balloon tires were used on the speedway. Out in the glare of the heat of that sun-beaten track, a boy sitting behind the wheel of the car he loves, driving with the skill of a master, not with his hands and feet, but with his heart and soul and a pair of baby shoes lashed to the front of his car. The speed is terrific. For the first time in the history, the average is over 100 miles per hour. And then the checkered flag, painted a polar, using balloon tires, Firestone gum-dip balloon tires, for the first time in the history of this great race, has driven to a brilliant victory at an average speed of over 101 miles per hour. Records are shattered. A new champion is born. It was Frank Lockhart who won on Firestones at Indianapolis in 1926. But 2 years later, Frank made the fatal mistake of trying to break the world speed record at Daytona Beach using inferior tires. They did not have the heat-resisting qualities made possible only by gum dipping. A blowout resulted. The life of Frank Lockhart was needlessly sacrificed. For 16 consecutive years, every winner at Indianapolis has thundered down the straightaway to the checkered flag on Firestone tires. For the past 6 years, every driver entered in that great race has used Firestones, a better luck token than a pair of baby shoes. And during that time, not a single car has ever been forced to the pits on account of tire trouble. Those drivers, like millions of motorists on the highway, know they can depend on Firestones. For back of every Firestone tire lies the vast experience and proven dependability of the Firestone organization. Personally directed by its founder, Mr. Harvey S. Firestone. Since the early days of the automotive industry, when he first entered the tire business, Mr. Firestone has been constantly guided by the ideal of turning out the finest and safest tire that can be built. The Firestone record of superiority on the world's greatest tire testing laboratory, the Indianapolis Speedway, and in everyday use on the highway, testifies to his achievement of that ambition.
And, Dad, I've got a couple of seats in the grandstand, so you and I can both go. How about it?
I don't know, Dan. Perhaps your father wouldn't be interested in the race. After all, racing is a young man's game. Why don't you take someone nearer your own age?
But I thought...
Yes. Why not take some young fellow with you?
Young man's game? Say, I'm not so old.
Well, folks, there have been plenty of record-breaking crowds here at Indianapolis, but this is the biggest of them all. It's an hour until the race begins, and there are already more people packed into this huge field than attend even the largest football and baseball game. They've been arriving since last night, when lines began to form at field entrances. The turnstiles have been clicking steadily since the gates opened at 6:30 this morning, and thousands who had been waiting for hours rushed eagerly through. And now they're pouring in constantly increasing numbers, by automobile, motorcycle, and on foot. This field will seat over 65,000, and there's parking space for over 15,000 automobiles. Most of that space is already taken, and still they come. Down in Gasoline Alley, the 33 drivers who have qualified are making final preparations for the race. Each of these cars represents months, sometimes years of work, and an investment running into thousands of dollars. For weeks past, drivers and crews have been working day and night, testing, ironing out the bugs, as they call it, and testing again. Tires for the racing cars are purchased at the Firestone shop, which has been established right here at the track for the convenience of the drivers. An expert crew gives the tires a final once-over and then mounts them.
You know, Wilbur, the thing that is surprising to me is the amount of mileage you're getting at the speed.
Gee, Dad, look. There's Mr. Karslake now.
We sort of figured on that when we built the car.
Come on, I want you to meet him.
Oh, take your time. Take your time.
Hello, Mr. Karslake. Gosh, I'm glad to see you. I want my dad to meet you. Dad, this is Mr. Karslake.
Mr. Flint, I'm happy to meet you, sir.
How do you do?
And I'd like you to meet Wilbur Shaw.
Pleased to meet you.
I'm glad
Wilbur finished second last year, just 40 seconds behind the winner. And Dan, you want to meet Mr. Shaw, don't you?
Gee, Mr. Shaw, you going to win today?
Well, I certainly hope so. And I'll assure you of one thing. If we don't, it won't be the fault of these Firestone tires.
You know, Mr. Shaw, my dad sells Firestone.
Is that right? Well, if your father has as much confidence in these tires as we drivers have, I'm sure he must do a marvelous business. Will you pardon me now, men? I have a lot of work to do, and I'm very happy to meet both of you.
Surely, Wilbur.
Say, what is this, Karslake?
If that surprises you, wait till you hear what some of the other drivers have to say. There's Bill Cummings over there now. Bill won in 1934. Let's go over and talk to Bill.
I'd quit racing today if I couldn't get Firestones, and no fooling. I refuse to take any unnecessary chances. I use the best tires I can buy, Firestone. I've used Firestone tires exclusively in all my racing career. I've used them in over 100 race meets without ever having a tire failure of any kind. I've got 2 cars in this race, and believe me, they're both on Firestone.
So today, every driver in the race uses Firestone tires and has since 1929.
Pete drove every tire off the speedway, but the gum-dipped Firestone tires.
With the beating that tires get on this track, nothing but Firestone for me. As usual this year, I'm depending upon Firestone tires again. I can't risk a blowout. I use Firestone tires.
Do you begin to get the idea, Mr. Flint?
Well, there's no question about they all use Firestones, but where did the other tires come in?
Come in. They went out years ago. Experience has taught us drivers to standardize on Firestone. Thanks, Mr. Schaefer. Come on, Dad. We've got a lot to see before the race begins.
A lot to see. Shucks. Let's go see a hot dog. Come on.
world's largest band. The crowd has grown to over 150,000, and still they come from all over the country. This event has become a tradition, not only for the American people, because today's event is being broadcast in several foreign countries. Leading radio commentators are here to carry the day's happenings to the waiting ears of an eagerly listening world. Red Barber is announcing for Mutual. There's Graham McNamee reporting for NBC. Crack newspaper reporters are crowded into the press tower until it threatens to overflow. Well-known celebrities are here. Gar Wood, world's fastest man on water, talking with Seth Klein, the official starter of the race. And there's Eddie Rickenbacker, famous war ace. Graham McNamee has him talking for the radio audience. The Firestone boys are here. Leonard, Raymond, and Roger. There they are in the grandstand watching last-minute preparations for the race. Here comes the band back up the track. Let's listen in. Drum Corps. 24 beautiful girls, and can they handle the pipe and drum? The Spirit of 36. Look at them step. The cars have been wheeled out to the pits, a collection of the finest automotive equipment on wheels. Each one has been approved by a committee composed of the outstanding authorities on automotive engineering and design. We won't have long to wait. A last-minute checkup of the engines to make sure everything is ship-shape. The tire pressure must be just right. Officials are looking over the gasoline supply to see that no one has more than his allotted share. The crews are rushing about, making last-minute preparations. Uh-oh, they're all lined up for the start. The bomb is due any minute. Engines have been warmed up and are roaring smoothly. One of the officials is counting out the second. There's the bomb, and they're getting underway for the first lap. This is the pace-making lap and doesn't actually count in the race. It's simply to assure everyone the chance of a fair start. Uh-oh, someone's in trouble. Why, it's Wild Bill Cummings, 1934 winner. If he doesn't get started soon, he won't have a chance. They're picking up speed now. Tommy Milton, a veteran driver with a brilliant record, is driving the pacemaker. Tommy was the first man ever to win this race twice, and he's out there leading them on. It's an ideal day for the sweepstakes. And I've never seen a crowd so full of enthusiasm. The air is literally charged with excitement. Everyone's out for a good time and plenty of thrill. They're rounding the curve now, coming into the stretch. The race actually begins as they pass the starter's tower. It's up to him to decide whether or not it's a fair start. If it is, he'll show them the green flag. That's the official starting signal. Here they come. The flag's ready. We don't know yet whether he'll give it to them. Yes, there it is, and they're off. Off to 500 miles and nearly 5 hours of driving that will test every fiber of nerve and ability of every driver in the race. It takes all the courage, stamina, mechanical genius, and driving skill that the world's best drivers can command to even qualify for this race. And they're driving 32 of the finest precision-built racing creations ever conceived. Every man and machine in this race had to pass the most rigid tests, driving tests, physical examinations for the men, and a microscopic examination, plus 25 miles of the hardest kind of driving for the car. Young Rex Mays, a 24-year-old daredevil from California, taking the lead. Look at him go. They call him Heavyfoot. This year, they've made it tougher for the drivers by cutting down the total amount of gas for each car. The technical committee, a delegation of Scotsmen no less, dished out 37.5 gallons of the precious stuff to each driver. And no use asking for a second helping. That means that these cars must average 13.5 miles per gallon. For months past, motor builders and engineers have been trying by every possible means to get more miles to the gallon. The committee hopes to get a lot of valuable dope so that passenger cars may be built to travel further on a gallon of gasoline. Now it's 20 laps, 60 miles, and Babe Stapp has taken the lead away from Mays, who lost time when he stopped to adjust his clutch. The timers report that he drove the first 50 miles at an average of over 116 miles per hour. This is a great race, folks, a great race, but there's more to it than just thrill. The Indianapolis Speedway is a great outdoor laboratory that has paced the progress of the automotive industry for 27 years. Many of the advancements and refinements of today's motor cars can be traced directly to races and tests conducted on this track. This 500 miles of racing is equivalent to 40,000 miles of highway driving. So equipment that will stand up under the wear and tear and strain of the race will stand up under the hardest kind of driving any motorist can give it. 350 miles, and Lou Meyer, who has won this race twice in the past, has pulled into first place. Only a little while back he was running seventh, but by some spectacularly fast sprinting he pulled up to first. Ted Horn, who like Meyer comes from California, is pressing him a close second. It's hot out here today. The sun is beating down unmercifully on the track, leaving the new asphalt on the turn sticky, adding to the terrific heat generated by motors turning at 5,000 revolutions per minute, and tires burning up the speedway at the rate of 618 turns per mile. Those tires have to be able to take it. It's a new track this year, and the race so far is the fastest that has ever been run on the speedway. Changes in the course were planned to meet the increased speeds expected in automobile racing during the next 10 years. The bumpy turns have been smoothed out with asphalt. New walls and wider aprons provide greater safety. Down in the pits, the crews refill gas tanks, check the oil, make minor adjustments in record time. A few minutes extra in the pits may mean the difference between winning and losing the race. Each crew has its own signals by which it tells its driver how many laps he's covered, when he should stop for gas, how he stands in the race, and so on. 425 miles. Lou Meyer is ahead by a full lap with Ted Horn next, leading the field by 2 laps. Meyer is driving a beautiful and well-timed race. Should he win today, he'll become the only 3-time winner at Indianapolis. There can be no doubt that he's one of the most skillful drivers in the business. But how his 37.5 gallons of gasoline is holding out, we can only guess. 25 miles, folks. 25 miles of this great race remains to be run. Meyer is still ahead and going strong. That boy certainly deserves to win. More than a year was required to complete his car. A car that is built like a watch, with such precision as to be as nearly perfect a piece of mechanism as man knows how to build. We're nearing the finish now. There are just 20 cars left in the race. Rex Mays, who led for the first dozen laps, has pulled in with a dry tank. Catlin ran out of gas, and so did several others. But Lou is still going strong. A few more laps. Will he make it? The last lap. Meyer is way ahead of the field. Here he comes around the curve, into the stretch. He'll make it. He'll make it. That famous checkered flag is ready, and he's over. Lou Meyer, ladies and gentlemen. Lou Meyer has won the race. He's broken the track record by more than 3 miles per hour. He averaged better than 109 miles per hour throughout the race. This makes him the only 3-time winner at Indianapolis. He's down in the enclosure now, surrounded by cameras and reporters. Somebody's given him a bottle of milk. Well, that race would make anybody thirsty. We'll be down there in a minute and ask Lou himself to tell you all about it.
Fine, Lawson. Fine. Thank you very much.
Great, Lou.
Thanks, Ray. Real dry. Thanks a lot. You certainly make a good product. That's the best in the world. We don't have to worry about him at any time.
We don't have to worry about you.
Thank you.
Thanks for you.
Yes, sir.
No tire trouble whatsoever.
Never.
We have our first Firestone to change here yet for any trouble.
Gee, Dad, I got an awful kick out of meeting Lou Meyer. He's certainly a wonderful driver. Art Truman was right. It sure is a young man's game.
I'll say it is. Okay, Dan, you win.
You needn't worry about that, my boy. When I buy, I always get my money's worth.
Listen, it's real, honest-to-goodness results that count with me.
Well, if it isn't our old friend, Brother Pearson.
I'll tell you,
But, Mr. Pearson, all the best racing drivers use Firestone tires. And if they think they're better, why...
Oh, sure, but racing doesn't mean anything as far as
Just a
tires.
minute, Mr. Pearson. After what I've seen today, I don't want you to drive away from here until you've heard what I have to tell you. With today's higher speeds, it just isn't safe to drive on worn tires. Anything's liable to happen, just anything. Now, that Firestone tire is the most economical tire you can buy.
Oh, but they cost...
When you buy a Firestone tire, you're not only buying economical mileage, you're buying protection against skidding and blowouts. A blowout may cost you your own life, or that of one of your family, or it may cost you a big repair bill. Now, that protection is of first importance, and the tire that can give you that and at the same time stand up the longest is the cheapest tire. Well, isn't it?
Well, yes. But how do I know?
I'm coming to that. I've just come from the Indianapolis race, and every driver there uses Firestone tires. I wanted to know why, so I asked them. And they all said the same thing, that Firestone was the only tire they could depend on, and that gum dipping was a secret of long life and blowout protection.
Yeah. Well, where do the other tires come in?
Come in. Why, they went out years ago, when every driver in the business realized the safety and dependability of the gum dipping process and the superiority of Firestone tires. Since Firestone developed the gum dipping process, you couldn't pay those drivers to use anything else. And the racetrack is the toughest test you can put to any tire. If it'll stand up under that punishment and that terrific heat for 500 miles, it'll stand up under the worst driving you or any other driver can give it.
Well, maybe so. But the economy is...
And they're more economical, too, because they stand up longer and because they give you a greater margin of safety against skidding and blowouts. All this is proved on the racetrack. Those drivers won't risk their lives by using other tires. Why should you?
Well, Flint, all I can say is you should have told me this before. I want a whole new set of Firestones put on my car immediately.
Thank you, Mr. Pearson. Hi, Joe. We'll put them on right away. Oh, Joe, put a full new set of high speeds on Mr. Pearson's car.
Yes, sir.
Just a minute, young man. I want to see this done. You know, when I buy, I always get my money's worth.
I told you I'd sell that fella Pearson. What I saw today sure did the job.
You certainly put that across swell, Pop.
And this is just the beginning.